I'm host Eric, and I'm here to say, welcome to Talking with Famous People today and every day here on the internet's only YouTube channel, Talking with Famous People. We're doing a little outside work today because that's what we're doing. I remembered right as I started the stream, though, oh shit, I gotta take the trash cans up. I only took one trash can so far. So we'll do that as our first order of business. We've got a couple trash cans back here. I believe these are both full. But let's take a gander and make sure. That's full. And that's full. We'll take these one at a time. I've already been working hard this morning. I just didn't start the stream until after I finished cutting out the steps. I made some steps inside of the hill to go down to the pond. But now I need to make them solid. I've got some boards I'm going to cut and use a little mortar with the boards and make kind of mortared board wooden steps. So that should be fine. We'll get around to that in a minute. First, let's get the other trash cans. I'm going to get this third trash can, which is full first. And then I got this fourth trash can, which I'm going to go in and get a couple of bags of trash from inside to put in there because it's still got some room in it. You know, I guess the thing that makes artificial intelligence qualify as artificial intelligence rather than just some tool is that you can delegate tasks to it that would otherwise require a person. But I think any early concerns that people had about like self-aware sentience, I think we can at this point dismiss those as silly. Alright, let's go get a couple bags of trash. I can think of at least 2 trash cans that are full. Oh, that door is locked. We won't be going in that door. What about this door? Is it also locked? Yes. So we're going in this door. I guess I'll bring the bong and some weed outside because I'm so filthy that I don't want to sit down inside. All right, let's do a couple things before we work outside. I'm going to finish the trash, first of all. Trouble, I'm not coming in here to watch you eat, dude. Just deal with it. Ah! Shit, there's a mouse. There's a mouse in the trash compactor. Fucking cats bring these mice in. It's a live mouse. If I put gloves on, maybe I could just grab it. I don't see it anymore though. It escaped someplace. Fucking cats. We would not have any mice in the house if the cats didn't bring them inside. Well, that was a little bit startling. Alright, there's one more bag I want to get actually. Hopefully it'll fit in there. It's in the, I think, master bathroom. It's full. Again, that door is still locked. You haven't unlocked any other doors yet, Eric. Why not? Because you're a big fool. A great big fool. Okay. So, Trouble, I'm not watching you eat, dude. Just chill the fuck out. I gotta go in the master bathroom and get this other tray. Okay. Now I'll take the last trash can to the street. Then we'll be done with the trash, and we'll move out back. I'll get set up with the bongs and weed and everything. This is actually my break after I finish cutting out the steps, but I figured I might as well start a stream. Just so I can share my activities with a few other people that might be feeling like hanging out with somebody right now. Rachel, of course, is fast asleep. That's fine. There. I'm a real king of accomplishment. I got all 4 trash cans up to the street. Thanks for the cigarette butt. Hi, Mina. Not really. Maybe some of them. I already said Mina. I said eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It feels good to get a workout, you know. Men's what? Men's Warehouse? You're gonna love the way you look. So today's gonna entail a little bit of board cutting. I had a couple thoughts about how to go about doing it. Make sure it's the right size. No, Mal. No, thanks. I actually don't want to watch you eat, believe it or not. I will go in the kitchen and wash my bong out. And then maybe you can count that as me watching you eat. I'll tell you what, how about if the 5 people who are here watch you eat? There. Go ahead. Eat your food. That's a good boy. That's a happy kitty. I'm gonna make some coffee and I'm gonna clean the barn. Well, I tell you something, cutting sugar out of my diet sure has made a big difference. I don't have to get up and pee in the middle of the night anymore. Maybe once. Which is quite nice because you have to pee every night 3 times in the middle of the night is really frustrating. I'm trying to get some nice restful sleep and just get up and pee over and over again. And part of that sugar cutout process is that I'm, well, at least right now, drinking my coffee with milk in it instead of with powdered creamer. Because powdered creamer has sugar in it. I still get some sugar, it's unavoidable. I get sugar in yogurts because yogurts are just too convenient a food / snack to get rid of. Okay. Now the coffee is ready to brew. We'll brew that coffee and then we'll go clean the barn. So I don't know what the time frame on this is, but last month, 2 months, I'm not sure. YouTube has really shut down sending random people to the stream, you know. Numbers have been very small. Not that I necessarily mind a great deal. You know I could do better on YouTube by making better content, you know? And that live streaming is just live streaming. It's not really making content. Is that too much water? Yeah. How about now? That's good. If you are unsatisfied with the stream, is there a way you want to change it? No, I'm not unsatisfied with the stream. I would say that I enjoy it more when there are more people here and there's more activity in the chat up to a point, you know? There's a sweet spot where you got like 25 or 30 people, 40 people or something, and a fair amount of chat going on, but not so much that you can't keep up with it at all. That's the sweet spot. But you know, this is fine too. I'm not. I started YouTube with plenty of occasions of sitting by myself in a room waiting for somebody to maybe show up, you know, and that was fine too. I can always pontificate about stuff for my own purposes. I've always got plenty of thoughts in my head about whatever. Some of them better than others. Let's see. All right, I think I'm gonna put this sand down so I can use this little table. Or, you know, I'm more looking to muse than I am looking for solutions. Oh, I missed. Well, I've got two possibilities here. I think I'm going to go bring the other table over here from over there. You just hang tight for a second. I'll put my bone here. My drink here. I'm going to go inside and get another drink and the weed, and I'll be right back. Okay. I'll get my other drink when the coffee's done brewing. Hi, Carrot. Yeah, I wasn't really looking for solutions. Like, the thing is, if I wanted to do better on YouTube, I know perfectly well how to do better on YouTube. I can make plenty of shorts to get lots of views, like over 1,000 each. Doesn't take long to make them. I could additionally do uploaded cognitive function videos. I mean, I could give people what they want, you know. Instead, I give me what I want. So when I give me what I want, then I shouldn't expect other people to want it too, you know. Plants are doing beautifully. I watered this morning. Probably water again tonight. I get some beasts. Beasts of the East. Alright, you burb, Carrot. Oh no, that didn't say burb. It says hi hi. Yeah. The tallest one is so tall. It's over 10 feet tall. I don't think the tallest one is going to have the most yield because it's kind of spindly compared to the ones on the end, which are more bushy. Eric, I'm trying to restrict smoking until after 9 so I don't drive up my tolerance. What do you think about this? Smoking cigarettes or tobacco? I mean, cigarettes or weed? 9 in the morning or 9 at night? If you say you don't want to smoke first thing in the morning, well, I don't know. Oh, weed until after 9 p.m.? That's awfully late for like a. I think you should make it like 7 p.m. at least. Like 6. Like, you know, like happy hour for alcohol. I didn't even know you smoked. I think it's a good idea to smoke less so that when you do smoke, you get more high. I think that's a good idea. I have trouble sticking with this kind of plans, but Once a week is pretty rare. The thing is, if you really quit for like a week or 2 weeks or something like that, then you smoke weed again, you get awfully high. But I'm not sure that's better. I have to go to Oakhurst today to get more Portland cement, more sand. I'd like to get some fish emulsion as well. I might also want to get a spade, a little hand spade that I'd use for scooping mortar. So I don't just have the trowel, but also a spade. That might be useful. Ah, that was a good bong rip. I can't believe what happened to summer this year. We just have had mild days after mild days. We had like 1 week of hot weather and it wasn't even that hot. I don't think it ever got to 100 at all this year, and it's the middle of August. It's the 18th, I believe. That's crazy. This is literally the mildest summer in California I can ever remember. Of course, we're here. I don't know what other parts of California are like. It's a big state, but around here, we haven't been here. We haven't lived here forever, you know. But the last couple of summers were way hotter than this one. Way hotter. We have to use the air conditioning, a little bit here and there, but not very much. The house stays really cool. In a second, I'll take you over and show you the steps. So that Rachel can get down there. I'll have to put chairs down by the pond eventually. And I'm a little concerned about the width of the sort of sitting area pathway part there. I have to widen it out a bit so the chairs are going to fit there comfortably. Of course, I can worry about the chairs later. Once I get the actual pond as a whole up and running, I can worry about the chairs and a sitting area. Yeah, it was chilly when I first came out to work this morning. I didn't put on a jacket because, you know, I was going to get hot shoveling. Oh. Feel very peaceful today. This name brand Adderall is so different than the generic. It's crazy. It's so much less gacky. They say they're supposed to be the same. Any difference you feel is just psychosomatic, but I'm sorry. It's just I know drugs too well. I've done drugs too many times. I know what I'm talking about. This generic Adderall hits way different than this name brand hits way different than the generic. But I'm not gonna get it because it's so expensive. Alright, now let's go get that cup of coffee. That's another thing I have to get when I go to town. Do you prefer the same brand effect? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm not confident to say if our summer was warm or cool, but definitely got dry and killed all the grass. Oh, do I prefer the name brand's effect? Right. That's a tough question. I feel like the name brand gets me less tweaked out, but I'm still probably equivalently productive. It just feels less tweaky. I tweaked out on the piano for quite a while last night. Certainly I've gotten a lot of work done outside. Another thing I have to get when I go to town is milk. We need to go to the store. I'll just get some milk. Oh my god. My elbow del tiniso is really horrible. I've been trying to use my left arm as the dominant arm when working with the shovel. I have to keep reminding myself. Keep going back to right-handed. Made me think about cognitive functions and if there's some kind of an equivalent there where you can't use a certain attentional manner and so you're forced to get used to using something else. It's hard to imagine there being such a situation. Like, I remember when I was working at this horrible temp job at the leather factory. Are you trying to make me jealous, Mexican? Because you know I don't have any cigarettes right now. Well, mission accomplished, sir. Mission accomplished. It's okay, I have a couple of butts. I'm gonna go in the garage where my butts are. They aren't very big, but it should be enough to get me by for a little while until I go to town. Coffee's good. Here's the rest of the little rocks. After this, I gotta go get more rocks. I also need to remember to wear gloves when I shovel. I didn't today, but I didn't quite get blistered. I've got better calluses now than I used to have, so it's fine. I've been doing a lot of outside work for a while now, you know. We're going super slow today. So, in case you don't remember, that little orange car, they drive around, and the dog follows it. I didn't see the dog today, but it must have been there somewhere. And the old man used to drive it around every day, and the dog would follow. Then he died a couple weeks ago. You know, I've seen different people in the car. Probably like, you know, wife, daughter, granddaughter. You see various ages. So when I smoke weed, I feel like I have a consciousness inside my body. I feel like I can access new nerve endings and change my posture when I normally couldn't. I'm trying to consider this some kind of cognitive awareness shift. Well, it sounds like you feel more consciously aware of SI than you do when you don't smoke weed. Makes sense. I feel like my SE is probably a little better when I smoke weed. It sort of settles me, it lets me settle into one thing, you know? I wonder if marijuana is an SI enhancer. Maybe everybody's preference is flip matching some kind of pattern. Well, I would suggest maybe its eighth slot gets activated a bit more. But I don't know. I smoke weed all the time, so it's hard for me to tell. what does, you know. I know it makes me slightly faded like I am now. Feels good, feels relaxing. But also that there's a all over the placeness in my head that often inhibits me from getting anything accomplished. Weed kind of calms that down. All right, let's go look outside. Let's go have a gander at the goose. So the question is this, really. Got a couple of questions, but one main question. Am I actually going to start working on the steps right now? Or am I going to go down to the pond and work on that? I have to mix mortar regardless. I think I should do the steps first because they're going to erode from walking on them until I get them stabilized. Let's look at them with our eyes. First, I put you in the coffee down so I can pull up my pantalones. I've got on terrible pants right now. They are the most fall downy pants ever, but I've got a good solution in mind. I think it's going to work. There. See? I've got my shirt through here. So hopefully that will keep my pants up. Okay, the steps. Oh, I can't see them very well. Huh? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, down there. Now what I need to do, I want to put a board here, right here, but before that actually, I want to put a board along there and put fill back in, maybe some rocks back in here, and then pour mortar over that and stick the board that way. And then I'll put a flat board down there. I've got multiple of these kinds of boards that I found yesterday. So then if I am going to start with that, I need to figure out what size board I need to cut. That means I'm going to need to get a tape measure. Let's go get a tape measure. Here are the other boards. Tape measure. Well, I just started it yesterday, so it's not been underway for very long. Let me get this tape measure. Come on. Come on, you. There's hammer too. Okay. So let's see how big of a board I need for this. I want to go from here to here. That's 39 inches, 38 inches, 39 inches. And then I need it to be 10 inches tall. 39 inches by 10 inches by 22. 39. No, I'm just doing this long one first. 39 by 10. 39 by 10. Okay. That's first 39. 39's right there. So I just have to cut from the middle of this thing that way, and then I'll worry about the top part. So now I need to go. Well, I don't really need a clamp. I won't be able to rely on the clamp anyway. Okay, put these headphones on. Then I'm going to mute the stream for a second so you don't have to listen to the circular saw. Alright, I got circular saw out. Ow. Now I'm going to mute so that you don't have to hear the circular saw. Okay, I'm going to cut another board now. Then I'll unmute it again. Okay, let's see how this goes. Hmm. All right, let me cut some along the top here off. How am I going to do this? How about like this? Okay, turn around. Should you start at the bottom step or the top step? Or the top step? I hadn't thought about it. Maybe I should start at the bottom step. Now let's try this one. Yeah, Cameron, look. Zips. Okay, so this is still going to be too tall, but it's the right length. I just need to chop in here a bit. Okay, so I need to take out some of this curve here so that this is more flat up against it. But I'd like it to be wider, so alright, this is going to be too tall still. I need to take off some more. Okay, so hi Cam, good morning. Okay. Oh, let's take off another strip from it. Long ways. You're nauseous. Maybe you're pregnant. Okay. We're going to now cut here and mute it. Oh my god, I've got to get a new circular saw blade. Let's see how it works. Yeah, that'll be fine. This will work out just fine. So, I need to do a little bit of digging out in there. I think I'm at kind of a little trough here for this board to go into. A lot of rocks to deal with. Okay, good. Now, where's that hammer? There it is. Okay. Okay. So now what I need to do is pour some mortar. But I'll do this too. Okay. We're going to put mortar right down there. Like, I will do the best I can. Well, it's hard to walk on the hill with flip-flops. Here I am. Maybe I should stencil all the steps or whatever, but I don't know. I guess I don't feel like I need to be that perfect or something. Like the second step, it had a big rock in it, so it's got a scoop out of it. I gotta fill that in. You see the scoop right there. Hi, Johnny Joe. I'm talking to you. I don't know if I'm famous people, but I am talking to you. I wonder if I should try to bring that back towards here a little bit more. Dirty son of a bitch. Okay. That's good. Just like that. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now, it's time to mix some mortar. Actually, let me give us a little bit more support here, too. All right, that's not going anywhere. Whew. Take a little break and have a little sip of coffee. Sounds still in your stomach. How's being famous going for me? I'll let you know when I become famous. Feels good to get a workout. Maybe I should set that other board in there on the corner there before I get going with the mortar. Beautiful butterfly. Let me show you. Be very quiet so the butterfly isn't scared away. There he is. What a very beautiful butterfly. Yeah, it makes me feel physically like good, you know. Like after a long day skiing or something. Hopefully this winter camera will be able to go skiing, huh? Oh my God, what a beautiful butterfly. Somebody call the beauty police. Because this butterfly is too beautiful. Okay. Had a sip of coffee. That was nice. Let me pull the bowl. We'll go look at that other board. See if we can place that as well on the corner side. What wild animals have you seen lately? Yesterday I saw 2 red deer and 2 wild hares. I saw a dead fox on the road. That's the first fox I've seen alive or dead. I saw that yesterday. Other than that, I haven't seen a lot of wildlife lately. Deers, I regularly see a deer or two here and there. Haven't seen any rabbits. Haven't seen any. Well, I did. This happened the other night. I heard something across the gully, and I turned my flashlight over there, and there were 2 green eyes glowing. You know, probably a big cat. I'm drenched in sweat. I'm working pretty hard. I'm taking a break at the moment. I'm gonna pull. Maybe I won't pull one. Maybe I'll just go look at that board. Get away, bugs. Nobody invited you to this party. Let me see about this smaller board, maybe. Perfect. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do with these boards here is I'm going to put some rocks down there. I have a bucket of little rocks over there, but I'm going to just pour the cement, the mortar over these rocks. That way I won't take quite as much mortar. We're not going to do rocks all the way up to the top, but I'm going to put some rocks in there. I have my bucket of rocks. Okay, now I'll fill that with mortar. Okay, we got to mix some mortar before we pour the mortar. try to get that extra piece there. Here we go. Time to mix mortar. So we're going to unplug the circular saw. I'll put this aside over here. And now we're going to be working with this bucket here. I'm going to start with 2 jars of water. One jar of water. Two jars of water. Now, the next thing we need is, I'm going to mix it up a little bit today. I'm going to take a slightly different approach. I'm going 2 jars of cement. Okay, there's 1 jar of cement. There's 2 jars of cement. Now 1 jar of lime. Then I'm going to mix that up. You don't want to have chunks of cement, so let you squish down the chunks better than you would otherwise be able to with the sand in there. That's pretty good. Now we'll put in the 4 jars of sand. One. Two. Three. 4. Now we'll mix that together. Okay. Now we're going to put another little bit of water in. Get a man's worth. There. Okay. A little bit more. And pull the rest of that out. And got 4 more jars of sand. 1. 2. 3. We'll just do another half jar of sand. A little bit more. Okay, now we need a little bit more water. That's good. All right. So now I'm going to go get let's bring this over here. And then, what I could do with the spade, with the trowel here. This is going to take a lot of mortar, even with the rocks in there. Wow, it's going to take a lot of mortar. trash trick coming. This time I got all the trash out to the street already. Okay. Well, as you see, we got just that little piece of that one thing done. So this is going to take a lot of mortar. Next time I'll fill it up more with rocks, so it doesn't take quite so much mortar. Alright, I think I got maybe one batch of mortar left is all I have as far as cement goes. Let's wash our hands in the hose. Like we did when we were children. Oops. Here's my pants solution. Failed. Oh. That's a spicy meatball. And I'll get that top board to match up perfectly with the top of the bottom board. And I'll put down a flat layer of mortar and I'll put that board on top of that. I think it'll be fine as strawberry wine. And everyone's going to go, wow, that really is fine as strawberry wine. And I'll say, yeah, it is. It's feeling good in the neighborhood. Is another thing that I'll tell them. Because they need to know. That's why. I wonder what happens if you mix Portland cement and clay. We've got so much clay around here. Portland cement, clay, and lime. Replace the sand with the clay. I think it would be okay cement. I don't know. I'm not going to try it right now, but I think I am going to try that. I'm going to try to make a little bit of, 1 part Portland cement, 4 parts clay, half part lime. And then I could like pour it into some kind of mold or something. So I can test it to see how it turns out. My show media, if I didn't say hi to you yet. I ain't sleepy and there ain't no place I'm going to either. Are we buffering? Gosh, I hope not. Matthew O'Day, not much. That's what's going on right now. It's a very sparsely attended stream. I've just been working on my steps. We're about to make another bucket of mortar, but I'm not sure how much cement I have left. Do I have 2 jars worth of cement left? Let's figure that out. So, oh yeah, there's 2 jars of cement left. No problem. There's one. Two. Put a little bit more because the first one seems a little small. Okay, 2 jars of cement. 1 jar of lime. I'll just put the sand in now too, I guess. Well, no, I shouldn't. I should put the sand in last. Okay, water. One jar. Two jars. Of water. Okay, get the trunk spine wrench. You guys are looking in the wrong direction. You're not paying attention at all. One, two, three, four. Then we mix that together. Now we're going to put one, two, three, a little bit less than four things of sand. And we're going to get a cup of water, jar of water. That looks good. So now we're going to go back over there and finish filling that space with mortar. I'll put some more rocks in there before I do anything else. That doesn't take quite as much mortar. Okay. I'll put these right there. Let's give it a shot. Now, somebody's shooting, I think. Sounds like gunfire, but could be something else, I guess. I'm no expert on the sounds of gunfire. Well, let's see how much cement I have left. I think I have about 1.5 jars of cement. I guess I just do a single batch. A small batch. And that's one thing of cement. Let me just see. Maybe I've got enough for another jar. Yeah, I do. What do you know? An extra for good measure. Sorry. I don't know if I have enough sand. Shit. I almost certainly don't have enough sand. Well, here's the lime. You get 2 cups of water, 2 jars of water. Stir this up. One jar of sand. Two jars of sand. Three jars of sand. Four jars of sand. Okay. Now, I'm going to add some more sand. Let's see how much sand we got left. One jar of sand. Two jars of sand and a little extra. That's fine. It'll be a little less sandy. Yeah, it looks great. That's fine. We're just gonna leave it like that. It doesn't even need any more water. Okay. Let's go finish what we can with the last bit of mortar that we have. Oh, it does need a little more water. Maybe not. It's awfully sticky. Okay. There's mortar left. I think I'll just come right here and start mortaring on this. Okay. So, we're totally out of sand, totally out of cement. We still have plenty of lime. But it's time to wash this bucket out. It may seem strange, but it's a good idea to keep your bucket clean because otherwise it ends up like this bucket. This is where I learned my lesson from, which is so encased in concrete that it's like super heavy. Obviously, it doesn't need to be spotless, but last time I didn't clean it as well as I should have. Got some cement caked in here. Alright, good enough. Cleaning up. Oh, Jesus. We made good progress on the top step. Feel pleased. Hello, Keisha. How are you? Oh. Let's go find a cigarette butt. I'll say. One here is not burned. This one will work. This one will work. Okay. They aren't big, but they've got a couple hits on them. Okay. Try this one first. Do I want to go to Oakhurst? No. Do I have to go to Oakhurst? Yes, because the Mariposa hardware store, it doesn't have any Portland cement for some reason. And what used to be the material store in town shut down just like a few days ago, out of nowhere. we've got a sign that says now serving you from our Oakhurst location. Okay, well, that's going to mean going to Oakhurst one way or another. Today's Monday. A few things I need to get it out first. Portland cement. Let's say, well, I'd like to get 2 bags of Portland cement and 4 bags of sand. 8 bags of sand really is what I need. But I can get sand in town, so I'll get 2 bags of Portland cement and 2 bags of sand for now. The sand will get me through half a bag of Portland cement. It would be enough sand for half a bag of Portland cement. So that's quite a bit of mortar. I'm very pleased with the way this project is coming along. I may even install a handrail alongside the stairs. I'm thinking about how I would go about doing that. It could be pretty straightforward, really. A circular saw blade. Same thing I need to get a circular saw blade. Because mine's doll is a butter knife and a dolling machine. Which is to say, pretty doll. Oh, it's cast. It's almost cast. I need a beverage. Map looks huge. Maps always look huge. In reality, they're very small. They're as small as a whisker on the smallest chuggy pig. Chuggy pigs have whiskers, I think. They are from now on, of course, chuggy pigs. No point in never calling them roly-polies again. Or pill bugs or sow bugs. They are forevermore chuggy pigs. That's just common sense. Alright. Good enough cigarette smoking. This Sujar's behind me on a date. Yeah, well, the sun changes location throughout the day. It doesn't just stay in one place and then suddenly set all at once. it gradually moves that way. Of course, where it shines here, when in the morning, over here gets sunlight. And in the afternoon, over here gets sunlight. But in addition to the steps in the pond, I am beginning to dig a compost pile. First, I'm going to dig a hole / pit right over there. Take out the rocks and the clay. Give it a good, maybe 2.5 feet by 3.5 feet or something. Maybe 3 by 4. And then give it a depth of about 2 to 3 feet. And then I'll fill it up with the steer manure blends that I have over there. And then I can start composting food waste, like onion tops and stuff like that. And then I'll be that much more like my mother. My parents lived a good life. They lived a very full life. It's a shame about my mom getting dementia towards, She started not really being herself a long time before she died. And that's really unfortunate because I felt like I never got a chance to spend, say goodbye properly. The person I was saying goodbye to was decreasingly herself. By the time she died, I couldn't even remember hardly my old mom, who was a wonderful woman, Well, I think it's time to migrate inside. I'll probably end the stream when I get in there. As obviously I need to change and shower before I go to Oakhurst. Oh, God. Too much bending over. For one, oh, God. Oh. There goes all the weed I'd ground up. I'll be right back for you. Okay. Okay. Coffee cup. Tripod and camera. Oh, I forgot one thing. I need to put on my flip-flops. That's pretty important. Oh. There. That's better. That's what makes all the angels sing in harmony. Whew. Yeah, I've had a lot of exercise today already. It's only... Is it really 12:40 already? Huh. It's later than I thought it was going to be. 12:40. It's almost 1 o'clock. It's pretty late. At this point, Rachel might want to go with me to Oakhurst. What if she doesn't? That's okay too. We need more potatoes. We need more sour cream. We need more coffee creamer. We need a few things from the store. Milk. And if we're going to Oakhurst, might as well get some F&GJ, Florida's natural grapefruit juice. They don't have it up here. In fact, they don't necessarily even have simply grapefruit. They didn't this past time at the store. Don't stop until you flip-flop. Okay. I don't exactly feel hungry per se, but I know I am hungry. I should eat something. If that is in fact gunshots, somebody's firing off a lot of shots. I guess that's the point of going shooting, right? Is to fire a lot of shots off. Whereas if they were hunting, you'd hear 1 or 2 gunshots and then they'd be done. They're just playing, let's exercise our Second Amendment rights. It's funny how badly the people in the Guns magazine that I was reading at the dentist's office, how much they want machine guns. And how mad they are about any machine gun bans. As far as machine guns go, I mean, whatever. Obviously, there's some kind of a limit at which people shouldn't be able to get military weapons. Individuals shouldn't be able to own nuclear bombs. Probably don't need large conventional bombs either. I don't know how an individual is going to find an instance where they're justified in using a bomb for any reason except just to set it off somewhere in nowhere, you know? And I mean, that's good enough reason, I guess, but like, should individuals be able to buy fighter jets or bombers with bombs? I don't know. I don't think so, really. I don't think, you know, my neighbor should be able to get a B-17 Flying Fortress with World War II era incendiary bombs and take off into the air while promising, don't worry, I'm not going to drop these on anybody. I'm not sure about that. I think probably we don't need that. I think we can do without B-17s with incendiary bombs. Incendiary bombs were used to massive effect in Japan, which was a very flammable country at the time, you know. Let's go a step further and prevent nations from harming themselves. Okay, well, I mean, but nation states, the government has a monopoly on use of force. That's what makes it the government. So people, individuals, can use force in self-defense. They can go hunting, they can go shooting, or whatever. But individuals aren't empowered to uh, police. Like, like I know Jeremy stole my bike. That doesn't mean I get to go over there with a gun and say, I'm searching your place for my bike. We have to delegate that to the cops. So it does make sense, I suspect, for there to be some kind of limitation of who can access certain kinds of military grade weapons. In general, I wouldn't want individuals owning nuclear powered subs. I don't really think the government should be operating subs like that either, but that's a different question. The question of whether an individual should be able to have a nuclear powered sub, I just don't. I don't trust the government to run them safely, but I don't trust individuals to run them safely either. Of course, the good thing about nuclear power subs is that water is extremely effective radiation dampener. So, so much so that if you go into the cooling pool at a nuclear reactor and jump into the water, if there's 5 or 6 feet of water between you and the radioactive materials at the bottom of the pool, you'll be just fine. That's how effective an insulator for radiation water is. So maybe my concerns about nuclear powered submarines are overblown. I guess I'll water the grills again when I get home. I have some fish emulsion. If we let people have their own nuclear submarines, they'll stick them together with duct tape. prevent nations from arming themselves. Yeah, well, the only people who could prevent nations from arming themselves are governments, which is, you know, we in America anyway are big believers in having a strong military. Maybe too much so. Probably too much so. Especially since it's not really kept pace with the times. We're no longer fighting the Cold War. Nevertheless, the American military is almost certainly up to the task when force is needed. I feel good and tired, like I just finished a big exercise thing. I feel like little orphan Annie when she finally gets a home. And with whom does she get a home? I think it's that bald guy, Telly Savalas, or maybe Yul Brenner. Prior to which, of course, she has a hard knocks life. Instead of kisses, she gets kicked. When I think about the music industry, I get in the past, not currently, but I get annoyed. Like I think about Diddy and Jay-Z and stuff successfully making successful music, not because they were good artists, but just because they were good at working the business angle. And certainly Diddy used lots of underhanded tactics to attain supremacy and get everybody else to fall in line. I believe, anyway, although I have no way to prove this, obviously, that he's responsible for multiple deaths. But while it's unlikely he'll ultimately see a long-term jail cell, I'm assuming he's getting out pretty soon, if he's not out already. Um, it is likely he's going to be tied up in lawsuits indefinitely, unless he goes overseas, which he probably will. I think the justice system's kind of a joke. When was it ever good? Well, I don't think it's a joke. I think it's legitimate accountability for them, for people to get legal redress for liabilities incurred by others, be they criminal or civil. It's not perfect, but at least it's a deliberative institution, right? You know, everybody gets to make all their arguments. The biggest problem in the justice system is actually plea bargaining. Because plea bargaining is another way of saying prosecutorial abusiveness. Like, let's say you actually shoplifted a Snickers bar. They'll threaten to charge you with everything from grand theft auto to terrorism unless you plead guilty to shoplifting. Most people just plead guilty, whether they did it or not. You want fresh water? Okay, fair enough. I'll get you some fresh water. Here you go, fresh water, Frank. Let me get myself some fresh beverage too. Grab this Heineken. Okay. Whew. You get special treatment if you're famous or paying up or belong to the right group. Well, it's true that people who are rich and or famous, but mostly rich, have an advantage over most people in most circumstances because they can hire expensive legal teams who can try every angle, of defense. And probably who are good at figuring out the best angle on defense. There might be some corruption as well, like, a judge who fails to recuse himself when it's his friend that he's seeing a case about or something like that. But I don't think that's too rampant, simply because most of the things that go through the justice system don't involve anybody important or special. And people are more likely to be leveraged into taking a plea than anything else. Of course, that's less likely to happen if they're out on bail. Go ahead, Trouble. Out you go. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for being here. You guys are the hardcore core of the Talking with Famous People community. You three. Until next time, I bid you a very fond farewell.